Hey guys, Saturday night, I'm working some Martin Truex Jr. number 78 cars here. I've got this one decal already, and it's 5 Hour Energy Bass Pro Shops. This is his last ride. So this one is going to be a dull coat finish. So I've got a couple coats of clear sealer on it, and then I'll be well, actually a couple coats of clear sealer on it, but I've got to paint the spoiler green, and I've got to paint this lower valence green as well, and I'm going to use this lime green Sharpie to do that. And I'm also going to throw some decals on here to decal this one as well. So let's get a couple of these. You can see I've already cut them out. So we'll get some of these in the water and get this moving. This is 2018. I can put these couple good years in. Some of this stuff on the back. You can see how I cut the back out. I like to separate that stuff out separately as opposed to leaving it all together into its individual little decals like that. So, but yeah, shaking up this pen here. I decaled these Ryan Newman Whelen cars today, and you know, just a couple things about these things. Unfortunately, the hood pins on the decal don't line up with the actual hood pins on the car. They're close, but they're a little low. And then if you notice, I never noticed this before until I was looking at it, but the Whelen is off center on the hood. See that? The W is kind of shifted to the right. It's kind of all shifted to the right a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know if that's the way it was on the car or what, but anyways, got these decaled earlier today, like I said, and just going to let them sit, and I'll start putting some clear sealer on those things when or tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'll put a couple coats on. Working a couple Clover cars. Still got that Kenny Wallace to do. Gonna do one of those Joey Logano Darlington cars, primarily because I had those red rims, red tires, and sometimes I like to swap those out and do that. Got a Trump car going with the dark blue, the navy dark blue, and a Matt Kenseth McDonald's Ronald McDonald House Charities car. So that's kind of what I got going on right now, as well as a couple Smurfs cars that were requested by Mr. Mike. So I still have not received my 2018 Mustangs yet, so I can't get the Cosgrala car going yet. So Mr. MR, that's the one thing, the one car that is I know you asked for those 4, but that's that one car I can't do yet. So till those Mustangs come in, I can't get it started. So appreciate you guys' interest in some of the decals that I put up the videos the last couple days. You know, I know how you know, some decals you can see for sale on eBay. A couple eBay sellers, they'll do that. They'll buy some Paytos decals and then they'll turn around and try to sell them, and they're really trying to sell them for a profit. But you know, for me, I'm not really interested in selling the decals for a profit, to be honest with you. I think it's just cool trying to help you guys with your hobby, you know, getting your hobby started. I mean, I can make money off of selling the cars themselves, you know, on eBay and to my customers. That's kind of where I'm gonna, you know, make the money that I make. So yeah. So all right, let's put this on. You can see what I did here. I was kind of shoving this into the paper because when you open this up, it's not always a consistent color shade that's there. You can see that, and you really don't want to get, you know, multiple shades. You want to get one green. So I kind of get that mixed up and get the paint flowing. Have the consistent green color coming out, and then put it on the car. So I got a little too much. I'm afraid it's going to run down. So, alright, so let's get this. You can see what I'm doing here. Alright, I'll try to do this without making too much of a mess here. Alright, so definitely a small spoiler. Whoa, that was close. Almost hit the decal with it. Gotta have a steady hand, no doubt about it. Alright, so doing these little corners is tough because you know, there's just, it's tight around this little, I don't know what you call it. I mean, I think this is the shark fin, this little area here, it's kind of raised. So what I do is I get this knife here. Let me get a little bit of paint on it. I don't think I need much at all. I don't want to get too much. And I just kind of see that? Okay, so just like that. It's pretty good. I don't think it's perfect, but I'm pretty happy with that. I'll let that dry. Okay. Alright, so now I got that done. Now this is a little bit easier, but you still have to be careful doing the front. You want to get a solid, consistent color, and then you want to try to get it as uniform of a thickness as possible. So we'll see how this works here. My car was hitting, the back end was hitting the wood base there. So might have to do a couple swipes on this one. Make sure that it's even. Come on. So that's the first go around. I'll let that dry, and then I'll probably go around it a little bit more, make it a little bit higher. I don't know if you can see, but just on the bottom edge of the decal here, there's a little bit of green from the decal. When I trimmed it, I didn't get all the green off, so I'm going to raise it up a little bit, but I don't want to do it now. I want this to dry. I'll put a coat of sealer on it, and then we'll do it again in another video. So, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just do it. That's probably what'll happen. I'll probably just do it because it'll probably be tomorrow morning when I do it. So, but that's kind of how I work these monster playoff cars. Is I use this lime green paint pen, Sharpie Paint Pen. I think I got this off of eBay. Might have got it off of Amazon, I don't know. But typically, I think your best deal is for these financially is to get them as a pack. If you can get like a combo pack where you get like 4 or 6 pens, for maybe like 12 or 15 bucks. Definitely cheaper than buying them individually. Buying them individually, you're going to pay probably $5-6 a piece for them. So, but at the end of the day, you buy the colors you need, and it's what you do. So, all right, let's try to get some decals on here. So I painted this with the Rust-Oleum High Performance Enamel, and it's kind of a actually, I'll show you. It comes out like that. So it's kind of a matte finish already, but when you put decals on a matte finish, it really doesn't look that great. So what I do is I put on a couple, 2 or 3 coats. I think this says 3 coats of my clear sealer that I use, and so that gives it that nice gloss finish. And when the decals go on it, it looks better. So when I first decal a car, I usually do the roof, and if there's something here, I'll do that, and then the hood. I kind of work my way doing the top surfaces first, and that way I can kind of just grab the car on the sides while I do it, and without fear of my fingers rubbing any side decals. And then so I usually do the hood, the roof, trunk, and then the bumper on the back, and then usually the sides and the very front are the last ones I'll do. But for spacing purposes, I usually start with these that have this lettering here on this roof. So I get this in place first, and that way I kind of know where my roof number is going to go. So that's there. And actually, this isn't too hard. This racetrack decal goes right here. And I've got these little bumps for the trunk pins, so I kind of just, I'm going to keep it above that, like that, as opposed to trying to cover them up with the decal. It's kind of a pain going over top of those. So this little corner would go over top of it. I'm just going to kind of put it right next to it. I think that looks okay. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I've said this a lot of times, but you know, practice makes perfect, and you just take your time, and you're going to get a good car. You know, if you try to rush, you know, because believe me, I know the temptation to rush. You know, you want to get it done, you want to see what it looks like, and you want to just, you know, you just can't wait sometimes to get it decaled and everything. But just take your time, and you'll be much happier with the results than if you rush through it. And so that's just a lesson learned. I mean, if you're not too concerned with, I don't want to say quality, if you're just, you know, you just like to get things done, and you know, you're not going to look too closely at it when you're done, then yeah, by all means, you know, go at the speed that works for you. But for me now, I mean, I kind of want to take my time, not rush through, and try to end up with the best product I can. All right, so on the hood here, there's a decal that goes down in the front. It says 5-hour energy, and I'll get that on first here. It goes right amongst these hood pins here. Cutting it out was a little bit trick because the hood pins on the decal set are right there, but I want to get that centered. And I want to get the water out so it doesn't shift or move when I go to put the Bass Pro Shops on it. So I just like to have that done. That way I know I'm working with all of this space here. Because this is pretty much, you know, you put that in place, it's centered, it's down here between the hood pins, you know, you're not moving it. So right now, I want to grab this thing. And that way I know how much room I'm working with here. So let's see, come here. Move them over here a little bit, try to get this centered. It's going to dip down into that little area right there on the cowl. I think that fish hangs over a little bit outside of the circle, so that's why this is over a little bit more than this side. I'm trying to center the circle or the oval. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where that is. Yep, it's kind of surprising to see Martin's not racing for the championship tomorrow. So, same with Kevin Harvick. That was a huge surprise those guys couldn't get it done at Martinsville. But Logano and Keselowski, Chase Elliott, they kind of, I don't want to say snuck in there, but oops, kind of wasn't expecting those guys. Figured it would be Denny and Martin and Kevin and who knows else. You know, Chase kind of came up big last week and won. He's probably an underdog at Phoenix, but never know. Never know what's going to happen. So, I am going to have conflict tomorrow, by the way. My Steelers are playing the Cowboys, and the race is going to be on at the same time. I'd love to see the Steelers make quick work of the Cowboys so I can focus on the race, but I'll probably be flipping between the two. With Ken Seth in his probably last race of his career, I'd like to see how he does. Love to see him get a top 10. I mean, he's been racing at best around, 14th, 15th this year. It's kind of been a difficult year for him for sure, but would like to see him get a top 10 in his last race, if it truly is his last race, which I suspect it will be. So, you can see how I trim all these decals separately, well, outside of this one, the rear lights with the camera in between. Might as well just keep that together. Get that centered on there. But there's this little inset on these Camrys in the back here. This is a 2018. I think it's a 2017, 2018. And there's a decal that goes in there. And because of the inset, I just like to trim it out, make its own piece. So I'll show you. This little racetrack decal goes in there. Come here. Kind of like that. Our daughter's working at Hobby Lobby tonight. This is her, I think this is her second day. Her first day was kind of like just signing paperwork and stuff and watching a training video. And I was thinking to go in because, just to look at, I like to go into Hobby Lobby, once every few weeks just to see what they have and look at their paints and supplies and stuff. And I was thinking to go in tonight. My wife's like, "No, you're not going in. You're going to bother her." And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to bother her. I'm just going to go in. If I happen to see her, just kind of wave. I won't interrupt her." But my wife thought that was really weird. What do you guys think? Father going in to where his daughter works on her first or second day, not to talk and but just to go in to say. Not really say anything, but just to be there and maybe see her and kind of wave and smile, let her know that I'm thinking of her, and not that I'm checking up on her to make sure she's doing well, but I don't know. I was just feeling that urge. My wife's like, "No, you're not. Don't do that." So, one of these days I'll definitely do it though. I don't know, maybe it is weird. Maybe I'm overprotective. Probably am. Okay. Confident to put these Goodyears in place because I have one over here as an example, so kind of know where they go. There's nothing that's going to interfere with them. So doing this front is it's different because you can see the decal set So what I do is, I cut out all these things individually. I'll just kind of show you the different pieces that I cut out, and then lay them in there. So that's one piece. And then here's a Sunoco. And my little trick on the Sunoco is when you just cut that out, you don't know what's top or bottom. So what I'll do is I'll leave a little extra on the top. Right? So now I know that a little extra on the top is exactly that. So when I go to put it on, I know I'll get it straight, not upside down. Nobody ever will probably be able to determine that, but at least I know I got it right. And then I cut out these little pieces here, front grille pieces, left side. And then the headlight and the number. Come on. Always got to watch cutting out these white decals. They're hard to see, and you can kind of cut through them, or cut too close to them, so you got to be careful. Sometimes give it a little bit of extra space. And then on these, this is just such a small piece, but I cut it out on the last one. I'll cut it out on this one, just this individual piece here. And that goes, it goes right in here. So you got the pieces that go here, here, and then there's this piece that goes across here, but I just cut out the center. So that piece that's here, it kind of spreads all the way here, but on a black car you never see any of this stuff, so I'm just going to cut out the Toyota logo there. It's white around the edges that's hard to see, so you kind of have to give it a little bit of extra space around there to make sure you don't cut through the white. Cutting out these decals can be a art in and of itself. Come on, they're sticking to that. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. So that's about it, guys. That's all I have time for. God bless. Have a good night. We will talk to you later.